Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this month's Community Connections. I'm Lupe Perez. I am the Director of Volunteers and Bereavement for Community Hospice, and we'd like to welcome you to our presentation today, The Many Benefits of Volunteering. There's a wonderful quote by Martin Luther King Jr. that states, "Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and your verb agree to serve. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics and physics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love." I love that quote, especially those last two sentences, because he was so right about that. Most of us, we want to help those that are less fortunate than ourselves. As we share our experiences with others, we find that we end up wanting to help more. We volunteer not because it benefits us, but because it really does make a difference. We all know that when we do something for others, it really makes us feel good, especially when we do something and we're not expecting anything in return. It gives us a sense of purpose and it uplifts us. We notice a sense or a subtle sense of a shift in ourselves when we volunteer. We feel more connected to others and we become less absorbed in the normal stressors of daily life. The benefits of volunteering really are countless. We could spend a long time talking about them. And today we're going to talk just about a few of those benefits. One of them is that volunteering builds community. Living in a good community is so important for us. We want to feel safe. We want to feel that the community comes together and supports each other. Well, nothing builds a community for the better than volunteering. And a community who truly cares about each other, who shows that they're helping each other, who is there to support each other, makes for such a strong community. Doing good connects us with others in meaningful ways, and it creates and cultivates a community who cares. And when we live in a community who cares, that is a community who is going to be there for us, who's going to support us, and who's going to take care of us. And in working in that community, we're making connections with people who are helping, people who might have our interests, or at least are like-minded and who want to support the community. That helps us build friendships. And as we're working with people, we're getting to know them and we're building long-lasting friendships with other volunteers. Volunteering can also end loneliness. Sometimes by ourselves, it really is a blessing. There are times that we need to just get away from people, maybe take a bath or just sit quietly with a book. And that's good, but loneliness is a totally different situation. There can be a sense of isolation from the world that comes with loneliness, especially if we've lost a loved one. We can feel very isolated and very lonely. The act of volunteering, well, that can help us fill a void that is created when we lose that special person in our life. These new connections that we're building when we're volunteering, those are not going to replace the connection that we lost, but they are going to help us keep in touch with the world. This is a great way to find out who we are. Sometimes we've spent years and hours caring for someone who has been sick that we forget who we are. We forget who our interests or what our interests are. The volunteering is a great way for us to explore those interests, to really take a few minutes to find out what we like to do, to get back in touch with the world. It's really scary. It can be really scary after we've lost someone that we love, to get back with the world, to get back out in society, because we may not have the friends that we had. They may have moved away. We have to build new friendships. Well, volunteering, finding people with the same interests that we have, that's a great way to get back out there and get in touch with the world and meet new people. It also increases socializing. So, social interaction, according to Psychology Today, improves mental and physical health. Consistent socializing includes better brain function and can lower our risk for depression and for anxiety. It's even been said that it can improve our immune system. So hopefully we won't get sick as much. It can build bonds and create friends. Whenever we work towards the same goal with others, we build stronger bonds between friends, between family, between neighbors, and even between our coworkers. Strong community bonds, well, that encourages more caring and open communication among people, which can improve safety for everyone. If we're openly talking about it, if we're building those relationships, they're going to look out for us, we're going to look out for them. When we work together, we build closer relationships and better connections. And this is so absolutely true. We may spend time with people that normally we would have never met. We would have never gone up to, our paths would have never crossed. And we find out that we really like them. And we may become friends with people that normally we would not have had, and we would have missed out on an opportunity to know. And volunteering can improve self-esteem. We all feel really good when we help someone else. Well, helping others can increase our confidence and our feelings of self-worth. It's true that when we help someone else, it makes us feel really good about ourselves, especially when we see that we've really helped them. We've made their life maybe a little bit easier, a little bit better. It makes us feel good about ourselves. It gives us a sense of purpose and also a sense of achievement. And that sense of achievement is especially true if we're helping someone do something that maybe we were a little afraid to do, or we thought, oh, there is no way I can do that. And but I'm going to try because I know it's going to help them. It makes us feel great, and we've achieved something that we never thought would be possible. It also takes the focus away from ourselves and from our problems. And this is really true. When we focus on others, when we focus on resolving or helping someone else who has problems, it takes away from our problems. When we're busy helping someone else, we're not going to have time to be at home and thinking about the problems that we have. And also, when we look at the world and we see how people are suffering and how there is a need out there for us to help, it really helps us appreciate what we do have. And it helps make our anxieties a little less. Volunteering also leads to graceful aging. Um, Older volunteers, especially, they really benefit the most from getting out of the house, from engaging with others, and moving physically. And volunteering, especially if they're volunteering on something that they know that every week they have to get out of the house, it gives them something to look forward to. It helps motivate them that they know they have a commitment that they have to meet. And so it helps them get out and engage with others. Being active and engaged in their community also tends to lead to more happiness. Being home alone, that can lead to depression, that can lead to sadness. But when you know that you're active, you're engaged, you're helping others, once again, it's helping others, but then we're helping ourselves because it makes us happy. And older volunteers, they have so much experience that they can share with younger generations. They may finally also be at a point in their lives where they no longer have to work. So they're able to focus on what they enjoy, on things that they wish they could have done when they were younger, but they couldn't, they were able to focus on that. And volunteering is a great way to get involved in those activities and help a younger generation as well with their experiences and with so much knowledge that they have. So it's really a wonderful thing for that, for the upcoming generations. Volunteering can boost skills and advance careers. Well, volunteering does help us in our careers. We may not necessarily find a job out of volunteering, but it does help us develop new skills. Especially if we get into a volunteer opportunity that is different from what we do professionally. We're learning new skills um, and we're adding and developing more skills to add to our resume. It's also helping us make connections with like minded people and with others who have a sense of community, who um, are interested in the same type of work that we're interested in. And volunteering demonstrates to employers and to potential employers that you have community leadership and civic mindedness. Community leadership and civic mindedness is so important today because employers, when they're wanting to hire someone, they want to hire someone who really cares about their community, who is active, and who is involved. So they look favorably on job applicants who have volunteered. And volunteering, sometimes adding our volunteer work onto our resume or application, it can make us stand out from other people who have not volunteered. And also, if we might be starting a new career where we don't necessarily have job experience, but we have volunteer work experience, that employers really take that into account because you weren't getting paid for it, but yet you were still working. And so you've still gained experience. People who volunteer also, employers know that people who volunteer tend to be service and team oriented. And those are exactly the kind of people that employers are really looking to hire for their team. And volunteering is fun. It really is. It's a fun and easy way to get out and explore our interests and our passions. Whereas maybe work, we have to work because we have to support our families and we have to support ourselves. And so while we may like our work, it's still work. But then volunteering, it's a great way to get out and do things that we've always wanted to do, but maybe we really can't make it work for our families. So it's a great way to pursue those interests. Also, doing work that is meaningful can be very relaxing. And that is so true. We've had volunteers who work, 40-hour work a week job, but then they come to volunteer after work. And I've had comments from people that say, you know, the day that I'm going to volunteer, even work goes by really fast. It's a great day because I'm looking forward to after work, I get to go volunteer and spend time doing what's meaningful and what's something in my heart. We can also change our lives and the lives of others. And really, we do. We do change the lives of others when we volunteer. And as we are changing the lives of others, we change our life. Volunteering helps us um, change the way we are, the way we look at things, and it can improve our lives as well. And volunteers make a difference. Absolutely, volunteers make a difference. Volunteering is one of the most selfless acts we can provide. Getting involved in our community, getting involved with our neighbors, anywhere we can where we can make a difference. Um, we don't have to really volunteer necessarily for an organization. We can look around our neighborhood and see who needs help, who can use my talents, where can I volunteer close to home. Volunteerism is one of the most selfless acts that we can become involved in. And it's also one of the most beautiful things that we can do when we're involved helping others. It's one of the best gifts that we can give someone. And, I know that we're all very busy with our lives, with, work, with our families, and we think, I just don't have time. And volunteering doesn't have to take up that much time. And sometimes we find that, I don't have enough hours in a day. But um, spending even 5 minutes or 10 minutes to help someone else will bring enormous benefits, not only to them, but to us, but to our community as well. Volunteering doesn't have to take up much of your time. Just any little bit of time that you have can make a big difference in someone's life. And it will make for a better community. If our community is involved in helping each other, um, it will make for a very strong community. There are many different places that you can look for volunteer opportunities, and volunteer match, create the good, AARP. Those are some of the organizations where they will connect you with the different volunteer opportunities in your area. But with community hospice, volunteers are very important to us. And this organization was founded by 2 volunteers. So volunteers are very important to help us continue with our mission. So if you're looking to give back, we have many different volunteer opportunities that really will fit into anyone's schedule, from our logistics and retail with our thrift stores to our office and fundraising and marketing events. There are many different ways to share your time and to share your talents. So if there's any questions.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation, Lupe, and for sharing the many ways volunteering can benefit not only us, but others in our community. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to enter them into the chat box so Lupe can answer them. Any questions? Not seeing any yet. How do we sign up?
It's really easy to sign up. You can just contact our office or go into our website at hospiceheart.org and put in a little request, and someone from our volunteer department will contact you. It's very easy, and we will walk with you throughout the application process.
Awesome. And then we have another question. Can we get a copy of this?
Samantha, I'm sure Kristen will make it available.
Yes. And one of our guests also said thank you.
Oh, thank you for coming.
And we have another comment that says, if in California, you can dial 211 for volunteering.
Yes, absolutely. There's so many different organizations that promote volunteering. Volunteering, it's been shown that it really does benefit our communities. There are some companies that will encourage their employees to volunteer as well. And, they see the benefits to the organization and to their employees. It makes for happier employees. When we allow our employees time to volunteer, it really makes for happier employees because they're giving of themselves to give to others.
And then we had another comment that again said, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from our group?
And even during this time, I just want to add a couple of comments that even during this time, during this pandemic, when we're all staying at home and we're trying to take care of ourselves, we can still volunteer. We can still call our neighbors, offer to drop off food for them or just check up on them. There are still little things that we can do to serve and to help our neighbors while we are taking care of ourselves and remaining safe.
We had another comment that said, I love volunteering, so I agree with everything you said.
Thank you.
And then there's another question. Depending on how I want to volunteer, is there some type of training?
There is. We want to make sure that our volunteers enjoy what they're doing. And so it just depends on what you're wanting to do. If you're wanting to work in our thrift stores, there's training for that. If you're wanting to serve our patients, we have additional training for that. We're with you along every step of the way because we want to make sure that you're going to be prepared and it's going to be a great experience for you.
All right, and then another comment, it's the best way to get references for work when starting off.
That's true. Like I mentioned, when we don't have anything really to add to our work history, but if we have volunteer work in there, um, the employers really like that. You can also get references from the volunteer coordinators or the people that you're volunteering with. It's a great way to build your references up as well because they're seeing you work.
And then we have another comment. She said she had volunteered for 8 years and she really misses a lot of the benefits that were mentioned during this presentation because of the pandemic. It's been hard to
And
volunteer.
that's true. It's been really hard because our volunteering has had to change a little bit. And but our volunteers have been able to make those adjustments and we're still continuing. It's just looking a little bit different, but we're hoping that soon we'll get to go back to normal.
Awesome. Any other questions or comments? And then just so everyone knows, this presentation is being recorded and it will be available on our website at hospiceheart.org.
And if there are no other questions, we would like to invite you to our next presentation, which will be February 24th. And the topic for that will be loneliness, advice, tips, and support for seniors and caregivers. So once again, thank you so much for joining us. We really enjoyed having you and stay safe and have a good day.